and I'm going to go over these in a series of questions. The mistakes you make in the gym: motivation is lack of goals and it won't really work. Willpower fails and doesn't really work. And how to build good gym habits. So it's really important to, if you're want to start in a gym, go and look at the gym and look around and see if it's the environment you want to be in. So there's hardcore gyms where there's a lot of grunting, groaning, big power lifters, lots of guys that are massive, girls that are massive these days as well. So that could be off-putting for you. But if you went to, say, like the Third Space, which is £250 a month membership, you're getting high level standard of equipment, but maybe not necessarily high standard of trainer, unfortunately. Now, most of the gyms have freelance trainers where they're paying a rent, so they will come up to you as a new member and try and say, do you want PT? Do you want to book me to help you get into shape? Now, this really does work as long as the trainer has got excellent knowledge, always keep studying and not just have done an online cowboy course and thinks they know it all. Does that make sense? Now, I've been studying for over 27 years, studied a master's with the Czech Institute and qualified in 2013. So I always give my clients new stuff every time I see them, motivating them by texting them, calling them, and being somebody that they're accountable to. You know, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you get fined. But if you do what you're supposed to do, you get a bottle of wine, a bottle of your favourite drink, or I might take you out for dinner somewhere in which to say congratulations, or I might buy a book that you might have mentioned in the session, or you might have mentioned some band or something like that that you like to go and see, and I'll get you a ticket for that to say, well done, you've achieved something great. And the only thing with a lot of the gyms now, they don't want any members showing up. They just want you to pay your money and never show up. That's why they don't really call you when you become a member and keep hassling you to get you back in the gym. But they should do that. But for over 27 years, it really doesn't happen. Even when I've been a member of Fitness First, Pure Gym, Nuffield Health, the only time Nuffield Health rang me in the 7 years of membership was when COVID kicked in and everyone started cancelling their memberships. And all they was worried about was losing revenue for that year with me being a yearly member. Does that make sense? So really important to find a trainer that's compassionate, caring, honest, and somebody that's not going to bullshit you, which a lot of PTs will go, you need to do calorie counting. It doesn't work. It never works. Yes, you'll drop a weight initially, but as soon as you go back to the normal eating, you'll put twice the amount of weight back on again because you haven't adjusted the foods that you may be allergic to, or the foods that are causing the body to be toxic, or looking at the organs and finding out which organs are toxic in which to be able to do certain cleanses, which help you to drop the weight and keep it off, as well as combining the right type of exercises. Okay. So writing down goals is a good idea, but many people just don't have the time to do that. And I believe that booking a PT, a good one, is the best thing that you could ever do, because if they're good at their job and they're a motivational PT like myself, they will keep motivating you throughout the day. You know, a couple of texts or a call or a FaceTime together in which to keep you going. Once you get over the 3 months of consistent, regular exercise, you will see all the benefits, all the health benefits, and hopefully that will make you not want to stop. Does that make sense? But you don't have to be with your PT forever. You could people can book me for 3 months, 6 months, or a year. I prefer the year because then I know you're committed and I can guarantee any result that you're looking for. And obviously, if you've been not exercising for years and years, you'll improve by 100% in the first 2 to 3 months. But then after that, everything will plateau. So first of all, you'll go up, then you'll start to plateau. Then it's my skill of what I know and what I've learned over 30 odd years that will get you to go up and keep going up. And remember, you'll improve by 7% every single session. So that's over 70% over 1 year, depending on what your dreams and goals are. Some people come to me, they just want to be able to play with their kids. Other people come to me because they want to max their deadlift. Other people come to me because they want to have better posture and move with more confidence. So not everybody has the same goal, and that's what you need to think about. Don't think like some clients have come to me and said, Scott, I don't want to look like you. Well, you're not going to look like me unless you have a head transplant, but I don't want to be big and muscly. But if you're training in the gym, you need to gain muscle in which to get the fat off the body. Yes, you can do calorie counting and drop a bit of body fat, but if you don't gain muscle, you're defeating the object type thing. Does that make sense? It's really important. Get the gym manager or the gym bunny or whatever show you around the gym. Make sure that they give you an induction on each machine. Make sure they take your blood pressure, because if you've got high blood pressure, you shouldn't really be in the gym. The other thing that you need to remember is that a lot of gyms get busy at peak times. And me as a specialised PT, this is why I do home training or training in my home or specialised training at specialised gyms. Because when they get busy, I can't do all of my program because certain bits of equipment are being used, like the Swiss ball. The gym might only have 2 Swiss balls and they're both being used. And if I just use Swiss balls in your program, then we can't do Swiss ball training. Does that make sense? But with a skilled, educated PT, they'll be able to do the same exercise with another bit of equipment that may be free. Does that make sense? And this is why I prefer to do the home training or people coming to me, because there's only 2 people in my home gym. That's me and you. So then that way I design the program around the kit that I've got, and nobody else is going to be using it but you until we finish your session. Does that make sense? I don't believe in group training, because in group training there'll be 10, 15 people in there, and if you're new to exercise and you're doing something wrong, unless the coach is really good at what they do and not just about themselves, they won't correct you. You'll keep doing the exercise wrong, which then will end up in pain. So you've got to remember that as well. So you've got to think about the times that you want to train. There's peak times, there's really quiet times. And I would say if you're new to exercise, try and get in the gym, say 2 or 3 o'clock, when it's really, really quiet. And all the PTs will be sleeping in the back room or sleeping in the stretching area when it's quiet. And then when it picks up again, they're trying to market themselves to get new clients. So writing down goals is a good idea if that works for you. Getting a PT and being accountable to them, because obviously the PT they'll charge you, and if you don't turn up and you cancel, you lose your money. And this is how lots of gyms make an absolute fortune. And I've heard probably 9 gym managers over the years, over the 27 years, oh, we don't want bodybuilders here, we don't want powerlifters here, we don't want sports performance guys here, because they only want people that are going to be sporadic in the gym. So let's say the gym has 3,000, say you've got a local David Lloyd and they've got 4,000 members. So if they've got 4,000 members and they all turn up at 4 o'clock, the gym would be rammed and people would get pissed off because they can't get on their equipment. So they'd be cancelling their memberships left, right and centre. So that's why really they want people that are weekend warriors that are only going to train maybe 2 weeks out of the whole month, because then they're still getting paid. Does that make sense? This is completely wrong of the gyms to do this, because what they should be doing really, as soon as they get capacity level on the gym floor, they should close their books. But they won't do it because it's all about profit. It's not about your health and fitness. You have to remember that. But a great PT in the gym will be all about you and giving you a great session. So things you should watch out for with a PT. 1 is calorie counting, complete nonsense. Don't entertain that. 2, not designing you a regular program. So they should be assessing all of your body. I do 150 assessments should be assessing everything so they know exactly what you can and what you can't do. Then on top of this, you'll get clock watchers, where the trainer won't love what they're doing, like I love what I'm doing, but they'll be watching the clock. Oh, fucking hell, this client's a twat. I can't wait for them to finish, or thinking about their girlfriend or boyfriend, or thinking about the new car they're getting, but not focusing on you. This is what you've got to watch out for. It's really, really important. Then on top of that, the trainer not turning up on time. The trainer's not turning up on time and it's cutting into your time, you need to mention it, especially if you're paying them. I'm always on time. And if I'm not on time, I'm texting my client going, sorry, I'm going to make it late. The bus has broke down, the train's broke down, I'm stuck in traffic, or whatever's happened. I will always contact that client as soon as it happens so they know in their mind. And then I'll say, right, I've got 5 more to see, but I'm going to add the extra 5 minutes or 10 minutes to your next session. And normally, it's a bit of give and take because this can happen for the client as well, not turning up on time. Okay. So really important to remember clock watching PTs that get you to do stuff that you shouldn't really be doing. So if you're a client where you're 3 stone overweight, should you be doing kettlebell swings? No. Should you be doing deadlifting? No. Should you be doing sprints on a treadmill? No. It should be very gentle and very light. Then as you get stronger and healthier, then slowly progress it over time. You can't go fully into kettlebell swings if you've got a massive protruding belly, because the transverse abdominis and the rectus abdominis will not be firing correctly with the lower back, and the chance of you getting a back injury is ginormous. The next thing to watch out for, if you say to your trainer you've got knee pain or you've got some sort of pain and they don't know how to work around it, get rid of them. And if they're giving you sessions and you're in chronic pain after the session, not DOM pain, DOMS is where the muscle has broken down and you get a bit of pain in the legs or back or arms or shoulders, that's part of exercise. But if your first program has 27 exercises, get rid of the PT because he doesn't know what he's doing. You should be doing 2 to 3 exercises when you very first start if you've got 0 training age. And what I mean by the training age is if you've been in the gym for 35 years like me, my training age is 35 years because the longest I've had out of training is 6 months. Okay. But if you have never trained and you've only walked around the park, your training age is 0. So the trainer should remember this when designing your program. Because if I get a client and they're 3 stone overweight, say, they're going to be doing light, very light, gentle exercise. Nothing that's stressing the body out too much, because they've got this huge amount of body weight. And if I start overstressing them, say I get them to do shoulder press squatting, so they go down into squat, they come up and they're pushing up in the air with a dumbbell, all that extreme load is going into their knees and their lower back, and they've already got an extreme load by the 3 stone on the body. Does that make sense? So by lowering the load of 2 to 3 exercises, you're bringing down the physiological load in your own body, which then puts the body into a healing process. And with the nutritional stuff that I do with clients where I do lab testing and stuff like that, by giving them a specialized diet, which is not hard to do, it's easy, it's simple. Once you do this specialized diet, the body starts to let go of the weight naturally with no calorie counting, no weighing everything, nothing like that at all. It works 1,000%, been using it for 27 years. So these are the things that you need to watch out for. The other thing that you need to watch out for, which I recently learned, lots of PTs say there's no refund. That is against the law. Okay? If the PT has in his contract, like I do, after 14 days, there's no refund and you sign that contract, you're getting into a legal binding contract and you knew right at the beginning. And the reason why PTs do this is to make sure that you stick to the program. They're not doing it to be a CUNT. they're doing it to keep you coming back and not giving up. Whereas the gyms, after 14 days, if you give up, they still charge you for the whole year because it's a business. Does that make sense? So you've got to remember that as well. Now, uh, I will give money back in extreme cases, or I will say just take me to court, which will take 1 year, roughly 1 year to go through the small claims court. But 90% of the time, clients are fine, I'm fine, and we just keep doing the sessions. They may come to the end of 3 sessions left and they might say, I'm going away, or I've decided I've learned all of what I need to know. I'm going to go a different route now, which is completely fine as well. But remember, if you see, or the trainer says, if you sign up, there's no refund, this could be a red light for you because he might be doing that to 20 clients and making a huge profit, but not delivering what you're going to him for or her for. Does that make sense? I always have a contract with every client. They always sign a contract. They get a copy, I get a copy, so they know my rules and how I work. And I think that this is what every PT should do, but not every PT is a good professional PT. Does that make sense? So on top of that, the next thing you've got to watch out for is protein supplements and stuff like that. I only give my clients supplements once I've done lab work and what's going to enhance their body, and I know it's not going to cause any illnesses or other problems later on down the line. Like a client of mine was taking AG1, which a lot of people have been taking. It's got a cracking agent in it that causes gut irritation. I said, stop taking it for 1 week, see how you feel. All his symptoms disappeared. He felt much, much better, then cancelled his contract with AG1. So you've got to watch out for all these little things that PTs will try and sell you just to make money, but not enhance you. Does that make sense? The other thing that you need to watch out for as well is that when you go into the gym, some gyms have good etiquette where the members are pretty, do you want to work in with me? Or, oh, mate, you're not using that machine correctly. Let me show you how to do it properly. But you've got to see the difference between the guy that's just being a pain in the ass and the guy or the girl that's genuinely wants to help you. So you've got to remember that as well. The other thing is that when you have a PT, the PT should be consistently contacting you, making sure that you're okay, and turning up for the sessions on time and not doing, oh, I'm sick in bed every day and still charging you, that type of thing. Does that make sense? I work with really good, strong ethics of if you can't turn up for a session and you've had something happen in your family or something in your own health has happened, and you can prove it with documentation to me, then I'll let it go. But I'm here to motivate you and to keep you coming and to keep you training. So if I let you get away with stuff all the time, there's no discipline there. Does that make sense? So gym etiquette is you don't go and use machines that somebody else is still using, but asking to work in with them is completely fine. And 90% of the time, the guy or the girl will go, yeah, fine, it's cool, yeah, let's work together. And you do that, you do your set, they do their set. Then making sure that the trainer is always designing your program, always reassessing you, and always encouraging you. And if you've got all them things, then you would start in January and you should still be training next January without deciding to give up or stop and being demotivated by the gym. The thing that I don't like in gyms now is the loud music, the aircon, but the aircon and the loud music is designed to get you in and to get you out of the gym. So you've got to remember that when you train in big gyms, they're all about making money. They're not about your health. But whereas if you go to a small boutique gym or a personal training gym where there's only personal trainers and it's not a big studio type thing, you will get excellent value for money, and hopefully the trainer or coach will make sure that you're getting all the results that you've gone to them for. But you have to be realistic as well. You can't lose 6 stone in 6 weeks. Does that make sense? And you can't get 18-inch arms in 10 weeks. So hopefully the coach or trainer that you decide to book will be able to give you great info on your expectations. Like I've had expectations from women going, I'm going to get big and muscly with you because you're big and muscly. No, women have got 10 times less testosterone than a man. And you won't be able to train to the extent that I do because I've been training for over 35 years. All right, Scott, that makes sense. And I say, if I make you big and bulky in the first 3 months, I'll give you your money back. I've never had to give money back because it never happens. Women, if you understand reps, sets, loads, and tempos, for men and women, it's a bit slightly different. So for women to gain muscle, the only time they gain huge amounts of muscle when they look a bit steroidy is because they're on steroids. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope you get